Next question comes from Paulina, and Paulina says, how do you explain the difference in pricing between CFO level services and bookkeeping services to clients? I run a full service accounting firm, and I think I am potentially undercharging my clients for CFO services. My client falls between $100,000 and $500,000 in revenue, and in my monthly CFO retainer, I cover bookkeeping, tax prep, tax planning, cash flow analysis, financial consulting, with 4 meetings during the month for $750. I don't know much about that industry, and you and I had a conversation about this. It feels like you're undercharging. I'm going to make sure and have Jeff Bruno answer this for you because he does CFO services. If it were me and I was in that industry, part of running a business, there's 2 parts to kind of running a business: being expert at what you do and knowing the industry, knowing the market, knowing the customer and all that type of stuff. And then there's knowing how to run the business, managing the team, managing the finances, and all the things that go with running the business. So I would put your question over here of understanding and knowing the industry. Would be good to maybe do some research to find out what other companies charge for CFO type services. So maybe reach out to some competitors online, do some research online, and find out what they charge for CFO services. How much time does that get? How many hours? What's the service level agreement look like? I remember in my last company, I did the same thing. I would go out there and have a couple of my hotel customers contact my competitors and get proposals and contracts and send them to me so I knew what my competitors were doing. This is understanding your competition. And so in your regard, you're not doing it from a competition perspective, even though they're your competitors, but you want to understand the market. And then you might pick up some pieces of what they're doing and how they offer it and how they line item things and why they charge what they do, and that'll help you with your clients. In the beginning days, when we're a service-based business, many people have a hard time charging what the industry standards are. And industry standards are usually going to have a range. It's like if I'm going to hire an attorney and I go to some big attorney firm, well, the partner is going to be $1,000, $1,500 an hour or more. But the junior attorney who still has a law degree, they're going to be $150 because they're building up their block of business and they'll elevate that as they grow their business. But they're still attorneys, right? And most of them can probably do almost the same thing when it comes to corporate stuff, right? So it's the same thing with you. If you know your range of what CFO services cost to clients, in the beginning you could be on the lower range, which is fine if you want to do it that way, as long as you can make money doing it, and then raise your prices as there's more demand in for your time. So that's what I would probably do, is I would probably scour the market and find out what other CFO, outsourced CFO, partial CFO type of positions charge. And then you might also want to do, well, what if I'm a $15, $25, $30 million company and I'm hiring a CFO? What does that cost a year? It's going to be $150,000 to $250,000 a year is my guess. And so a small company who might still need some strategical CFO type mindset things for their business, even though they don't need a full-time CFO, you can say, hey, listen, CFO is going to cost you $150,000 to $200,000. I charge $1,500 a month. I can do this because you don't need a full-time person. I can do this a couple hours a month and counsel you on things. So that's what I would do. I would just dive deeper to understand the market, understand the industry, understand the range of fees that are there, and then figure out arbitrarily which one works best for me. And remember that I want to grow my business. I need to make sure and charge enough that not only puts money in my pocket, but I also can use to start building the business and delegating and hiring some team members to do lower level stuff and still have money to pay them. Okay? I hope that helps, Paulina. Thanks.